So we're on another day of family interviews. Each day we're trying to post one video for 365 days of the year. And to be honest, not every day is that exciting, especially when it's 5 million degrees outside and you can't go and do anything or you will sweat the whole time. So our life has been boring the last little bit until this heat goes away and we can leave the house again and do something more interesting. So today you're going to get some question and answer from Abby Clark, the second oldest child of that tall family. Abby's 19 years old. She is only 21 and a half months younger than Carter Clark.
Yeah, we're basically twins. Basically twins. Oh, that's too close. Dad said to not hold it here. Hold it here.
Good job, Abby.
What do I?
All right. So yeah, Abby's 19. She is going to start her second year of college this year, but she's been doing a lot of random things. She did a year of college, she did 1 year of college, and then she dropped out because she just wasn't feeling it, didn't know what she wanted to do. And then why don't you tell us what happened after that, Abby?
Yeah. So what she said, I did 1 year. I played basketball and I was a sports management major. And then probably 2 weeks before I was supposed to move in and start because I was supposed, sorry, let me backtrack. About 2 weeks before I was about to start doing school, I had extracurricular stuff, so I had to go back early. 2 weeks before I was supposed to move in, I was like, no, I'm going to drop out. So I dropped out and thought I was going to go to hair school. But then God was like, no, you're not going to go to hair school because, yeah. And then there's this music program in Nashville through the college that I was going to. And I had known about it for a couple years, but it was always just something I was like, no, I could never do that. Basketball, it was just so far out of reach. Even though I've always loved music, it was just no, that's not something I would ever do. Which is funny because I did it. Anyways, and then one night I was like, why not actually just apply for this music program since hair school isn't really working out? And so I did, but then I stopped halfway through the application. But then all of a sudden this admissions counselor from this program just starts messaging me, and the ball just started rolling, and it just seemed like it just happened. It was just weird the way it all came about, and that I didn't really even have to finish my application and someone was already just, we want you here. It was just, it was weird and it was crazy. Very much just a God thing. That was just where I needed to be. Anyways, fast forward, I spent the semester just working and saving money, and then I moved to Nashville for a semester to do the music program, and it was amazing, and I met my best friend there. Shout out Cindy Plosker. And yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait, and now I'm going back to school, but not to be a sports management major, to be a worship arts major.
All right. So a lot has changed in Abby's life in the last year. So why don't you give us a little more information about your music talents, abilities? Do you play instruments? Do you sing? Do you do both? What's the musical ability, talent, love that you have?
Back in the day, I started off on the good old ukulele, because who doesn't just start off on the ukulele? And then I got my first guitar, I think when I was probably 10. I think I was 10 years old. I got it from my aunt. She just had an old one and she let me use it. And then, so I've been playing for 9 years. Oh my gosh, I just made that realization. That's crazy. So I could play piano, but it's nothing crazy. I would definitely say my main instrument is an acoustic guitar. And then I sang and dabble in the bass. Just a little bit. We're starting to learn, but I want to get really good at the bass because I think it's a cool instrument. So acoustic guitar and singing though are really my main things, and I definitely like the guitar the most out of all the instruments I play.
So Abby, since we are that tall family and We like to joke that you're the short member, even though I'm actually a little bit shorter than you. Abby at 5'10" really is not short at all. Even though she looks short in this household, that is still quite tall in most standards. How do you like being 5'10"? I feel like it's this kind of a can of worms for you. I think you're at a point now where 5'10" is great, but how have you always felt about being shorter?
Definitely at one point in my life, I was quite triggered by it. I was like, dang. Just because everybody, like, would make fun of me for it. And then, like, once Avery was taller than me, it was really just, like, a blow to the ego. It's just, like, the day your younger sister becomes taller than you is just, it's just sad. But I've come to terms with it. Lots of growth and maturity when it comes to my struggle with being the short one. Just kidding. I actually don't. I used to care when I was like young, when I was just a little lad. But now,
You're not a boy.
when I was just a little girl. But now I don't care at all because I love the way that God made me. I don't need to be taller than 5'10". That is more than enough height because it's already hard enough to find pants that are long enough, as you can see by these pants.
Do you play any sports right now? That's usually a question people have when they find out everyone's taller. You don't get asked quite as often as Carter and Avery if you play basketball or volleyball, but are you playing any sports or have you played any sports? I think you touched on that a little bit earlier.
Yeah, so I definitely don't play sports anymore. I'm retired. I played basketball and volleyball in high school, and then played basketball for a year in college. And I loved basketball, and I still love basketball. And it was sad to say goodbye, but obviously it all works out because wouldn't be doing the music thing if I hadn't quit basketball. That's good. But yeah, no, basketball was definitely my main thing, though. I was not that good at volleyball because I cannot jump. My vertical is about probably that much.
Some would say you're also not very fast either.
Oh, no.
All that to say, and that wasn't a diss, but
no,
Abby does have a fun little, I don't know, story from when she was playing high school basketball. She wasn't that fast, but man, could she shoot. Why don't you tell everybody about a pretty cool record you were able to break in high school?
Yeah, I will also admit that I'm so slow. Like, I'm self-aware, okay? Yeah, I broke the record for most threes made in a game, and it was 9 3-pointers. I went 9 for 14. And it's always, you look back and you're like, dang, if only those ones went in. But like 9 is still great. And so I broke the women's record.
For your school.
For my school.
You mentioned that you're going to be a worship arts major, and that was your focus when you were at your music program in Nashville. Obviously, you're very passionate about your faith and Jesus and leading worship. Maybe just talk a little bit about that and maybe where you see yourself going with that in the future.
Yes. Yeah, so going into the music program, that was not the plan to do the worship side of things. I just wanted to do like the artist, because you could do like the artist track or the worship track. So artist is just writing like secular music, worship is writing worship songs. And so I planned on doing the artist track, and it was the first day of class, and I was sitting there, and our teacher, shout out Jason Germain, he's the best, he's the GOAT. You can look up his music down here. No, he's great. Anyways, he was just blabbing away about what he does. I don't even remember what he was saying, but I was just sitting there and I was just like, oh my gosh. No, I wasn't like this. God told me, like, you're not going to write songs about whatever problems are going on in your own life. You're going to write songs about me. And I was like, okay. So then I went up to my teacher after class and I was like, can I switch to the worship track? And he was like, oh my gosh, yes. He was so excited. So yeah. And then from there, it was just me writing songs about Jesus. I wouldn't necessarily say they're all like worship songs, like some worship, some CCM, Christian contemporary music.
What do you see yourself doing with it in the future? What are you currently doing to live out your passion, and what do you see yourself doing with that in a few years from now?
I'm just writing a lot because if I'm not at work, then I have literally nothing else to do. So I just write a lot of music. And I don't know. And if I would love to go on tour, I think that'd be so fun. If that's just like opening for someone or something. But I think that would be really cool at some point to do that. Hopefully, get to release a lot of music this year. Just like I said, I've been writing so much and I'd love to like record stuff. So with being back at school and like being in the music program, just get to record a lot of stuff. I think that'd be great.
You also lead or do worship music at church, lead on Sundays, and then you also get involved in just what other worship events you're able to sing and play your guitar or whatever. Yeah.
Yep, I do that.
So now for the really important question, because Abby likes to throw this one out when she's having people do videos, because she also does social media stuff for student government on campus. Abby, what's your favorite Starbucks order?
My favorite Starbucks order. See, it depends on the mood and the vibes. Like when it's really hot out, a matcha lemonade with peach juice really just hits the spot. But if I'm getting coffee, it would have to be an iced flat white with caramel.
All right, slay Abby, dab on it. Abby loves to dab. Okay.
No, I like to gritty.
You do like to dab though.
Yeah.
And
I
gritty.
haven't busted that out in a while
You
though.
want a gritty on the way out?
Sure.
You get up and just gritty on the
All right, let's see that gritty, Abby.
stand up. Okay, and then just gritty on out.
All right, I don't know if that was good or not, but
We'll put it together.